About 10 years ago, I took my dog out for a short walk. We lived in a run-down but historic part of town. Old houses that are either beautifully maintained, abandoned, or generally going to shit. There's a good mix of people in that neighborhood. Anyway, walking the dog, I get about 3 or 4 houses down and stop at the corner, while Pony sniffs some grass or whatever. That's my dog. I turn around and suddenly there is a man standing way too close to me. No idea where he came from. I'm usually very aware of my surroundings. And Pony, he hated strange men. I stumbled a few steps back. I immediately had this absolute bone-chilling, sick feeling. He asked me, "Is that a pit bull?" I replied. Then he said, "Oh, she'll protect you." At this point, my body flooded with adrenaline. I turned to run back to my house. I saw my mom standing on the porch and thought to yell at her. She had no reason to come out on the porch. I honestly think she had a bad feeling. I don't know what good me yelling really did, but it was all I could think to do. Like, hey, look, I'm over here. I've never had such a flight response before, or since that encounter. I was 8, and woke up to an explosion of dog barks and screams coming from our backyard. Then the screams trailing down the street. We get outside, and my dog is chewing on a bloody shoe, and a bit of gym shorts were hanging off the backyard fence. We call the cops. They investigate. From the footprints, they could see the guy tried every window with my dog following. When he got to mine, my dog went full attack mode. The guy was picked up that night on an unrelated charge, but they put 2 and 2 together later and charged him. My dog allowed them to collect the gym shorts, but that shoe was his. He was happy and let the cops pet him as much as they liked animal control the next day when they drew a little blood for a rabies test. That shoe, though, was his. I haven't told this one in a while. I was young, 5'7", somewhere in there. I was sleeping in between my parents for whatever reason. I woke up. I remember the clock reading around 4 a.m. There was something standing by the window looking out into the front yard. It looked like a man in a brown wool robe, about 6'4" or so. I started to stir and sat up in bed. The thing turned and looked at me. Dear God, that face, extremely pale, white skin, lots of really pronounced wrinkles, and the face drooped like it was melting, down into a really pointy chin, almost similar to a scream mask, but with all of the features of a living being. Its mouth was hanging open, and its eyes were wide, almost like it was worried or frightened. It kept its gaze on me, while it moved away from the window, in front of the bed, and out the open bedroom door. The second it exited the room, the lights turned on their own, and both my parents jumped up on either side of me, breathing heavily like they both just woken up from a nightmare. To be clear, I was fully able to move during this. I don't think it was sleep paralysis, but I'm not sure what it could have been other than some kind of demon or a really fucking ugly ghost. I've never seen it since, but I can still picture it clearly as today.